This episode is brought to you by Blink. Want smart security that's easy to set up and designed for modern life? That's the new Blink 2K video doorbell lineup. They've got battery-powered or hardwired options, so you can choose what suits your home and start greeting your guests and tracking your deliveries from anywhere. Because whether you're a renter or a homeowner, you deserve peace of mind. Shop the new Blink 2K video doorbells at amazon.com/blink. Welcome into the Ringerverse, where the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer has just dropped. We were doing a different episode of the Midnight Boys, and this happened as we were recording. So we wanted to make sure that Steve, the architect Ahlman, Jomi, the explainer Adeniran, Old Man Van, he is the receding researcher hairline, Coat Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer, broke down the trailer for you guys real quick. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. All right, so the trailer has dropped. This is presumably the last trailer before the movie comes out, which is coming out next month. Wow, tickets are on sale now. What do we think?
That was a great trailer. My man Spidey, he's back in it, man. I can't say restored to feeling. I can't use it that liberally. But there's the scene at the end when he's doing like the Spidey quipping. He's like, I'm not in high school anymore. You guys don't stretch. And I was like, this is what it means, man. That's my Spider-Man right there. I loved it.
It's wonderful. It really does kind of restore the feeling of what a good Spider-Man trailer should look like. Yeah, I think I'm just a little annoyed where I don't know who the villain is or what we're actually doing in this movie, and I get it, but the general plot synopsis I would have loved a little bit more out of what we're actually doing here, other than having a good fun time spot with Spider-Man, but it was great.
I wonder sometimes what the sweet spot is for too much in the trailer and not enough.
It can't be too much. It always has to be too much.
I feel like they gave me too much at this point.
See?
You think so?
Yeah.
Between the two. Yeah.
Even if we don't know who the villain is, I'm open to be surprised, but like I feel like I can get the contours of the film. We've known for a while we're getting Savage Hulk. Punisher and Spider-Man have to team up. Spider-Man is breaking someone out of prison, whether that's Punisher, whether that's Daredevil, whether that's a third person. And Sadie Sink at this point is Jean Grey. It is like
soft confirmed.
It is the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
I don't know that they're necessarily trying to keep it that well, by the way.
I will say I am excited for this movie because as Tom Holland and Zendaya and all of the people I love, Spider-Man is a big character. I don't have to pretend that I like this character. I can be like, no, I like Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man films. I think right now, I'm excited for a Spider-Man movie. I don't know if I'm excited for this story. So I'm interested to see what it is about this story that they're like, that Tom Holland is like, this is the best one we've made yet.
He's been very vocal about like in the Odyssey press tour, about how like they took 6 months off of Spider-Man because he had to work on the Odyssey or something.
Yep.
He's looking around like, hey man, why don't we
Christopher Nolan guy?
Yeah, why don't we make movies like this? How they had to like rework the script and everything.
They got the Challengers screenwriter,
right,
who worked with his wife Zendaya to help with this.
Extremely vocal about like this is the Spider-Man movie, not only that he would like to make, but that he would want to see for the fans. And so through the trailer, I can see where he was coming from. Like it's a very Spider-Man like focus. Like Spider-Man is a what do you call it? A metaphor for puberty, right? Growing up, it's like that. And in this movie, it looks like Spider-Man has a ton of growing up to do. And I think for him, that meant a lot to tell that story. And so he's very excited about it. I'm excited about it.
I thought the trailer was phenomenal. And I think the reason why I thought it was phenomenal was because we've had 3 movies with Tom Holland Spider-Man. This is the 4th. This one feels very new. It feels different. It's grounded. The trailer felt dangerous. You felt the personal and heroic danger that Spider-Man is in. You know that it's going to be a little bit more of a dramatic movie from an action standpoint, being that Savage Hulk and Punisher are in it. The stakes seem a little bit higher. He seems to be, even after all of his time of being an Avenger, of doing all of this stuff, in a completely unknown position in his life. He's asking big questions and having to figure out the answers to those questions on his own, which is kind of what the essence of the Spider-Man character is. This feels like it will be a sort of street-level Spider-Man with elevated MCU stakes, which is what always people wanted. The MCU gave us an MCU Spider-Man, with these sort of galactic and world takes. But this one seems like, to me, just from the tenor and temperature of the trailer, kind of closer to what I envisioned Spider-Man in the MCU being.
Would this universe allowed Bruce Banner to be a professor. The more I watch these trailers, I'm like, damn, it'd be crazy if I was in college and I'm like, the Hulk is my professor. There would be a part of me that's like, I would be interested to take the class, but I'll also be like, damn, I don't want, if he stubs his toe the wrong way.
Well, also, he's like leveled cities canonically.
Right, but are you going to tell him no? You're going to be like, hey, man, you know.
When I'm in the portal with my classes like biology and shit, if I see Bruce Banner, I'm like, you know what? Let me take
the other class.
I mean, that's the thing.
Let me get Kirk Connors.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I
would rather be in Kirk Connors' class than Bruce Banner's class.
Kirk Connors
pre
is a
or
good
post
teacher,
Lizard, because if he was also the Lizard and then he like did like a little Hulk thing where like guys.
Rehab, I'm back. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm cool. I'm not messing with the Lizard. The Hulk I know fought for the right team. The Lizard, I don't know. He had New York City running crazy.
Is there anything about the story that you guys can glean from the trailer?
All of it.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah.
So basically what it seems is there are gaps in Doctor Strange's spell where not only like basically MJ and whatchamacallit are remembering Peter, or there's something in their life that seems missing. While we don't know what who the villain is, I can definitely glean that like, oh, Peter Parker is maybe because of his spider sense, is the only person in New York who can fight against Mr. Negative is not in this, but it seems like a very Mr. Negative power, which is like someone can go into your mind and essentially make you turn evil, make you turn bad. And that seems like it's going to infect Bruce Banner. And it seems like the big CGI blow-up fight is going to be Spider-Man versus Savage Hulk with Punisher, and I'm assuming Jean Grey helping out a little bit. The only part of this that I'm not totally understanding is like, who is the big bad? But it definitely does seem like this is a Spider-Man versus Hulk movie.
I'm curious about where
Spider-Man versus Hulk movie.
I don't know if it's a Spider-Man versus Hulk movie. No, I think they're gonna fight. I think it's kind of like Thor Ragnarok, where like they fight, but at the end of the day, like either they team up or it's just a set piece. I don't know if there's actually like one central villain, which is kind of weird because we've seen like Scorpion, Punisher is like an anti-hero or whatever. Yeah, but all these like side guys who are not the main guy. I wonder if the main villain is like the mutation aspect of it all, or at least that's like the driving plot. Because think about it, he's talking to Bruce Banner. He's like, you know about genes, you know about mutation, whatever. He has the thing where he's getting
the organic webs.
The organic webs are coming through. And then obviously, like, we all like the hooded figure. We're all like, that's 80 Cent, that's Jean Grey, X-Men, mutation. Like, is that the driving plot of this movie? I think it is. They're not, like, to your point, they're not doing the best job hiding it if you're like a real comic book head or whatever. But for a regular person who's not like well-versed in lore, I don't think they're like, that's Jean Grey. Oh, cool, it's Hulk. Like, I think there's a little bit more mystery in that aspect.
I guess my worry is, I don't know if there's ever been a superhero movie that has been successful where the villain is not out in front, when it is like the villains are a lot of people. And that's always where I get a little bit like,
you get a montage of villains.
Yeah, you need you need a Joker, you need a Thanos,
a Doc Ock.
The best superhero movies have that one figure in that role to really situate what we're rooting against, what the hero is fighting against, what the hero believes. And I'm just like, this was kind of the problem with like Spider-Man 3 and like late stage Spider-Man films, where I'm like, there's too much.
Well, so this is what I would say. I think that there's two things. One, I do think even with all of the stuff that's in this is a stripped down Spider-Man. And I said that earlier, it's a stripped down Spider-Man. A lot of beef in terms of other characters in it, which makes sense because I don't know how many of these adventures in this MCU could exist with these characters having these adventures without anybody else being like, why are you destroying that building? I'm here to help, right? So it seems like a stripped down Spider-Man movie that's more specifically about whatever sort of fucking transformation that Peter's going through, okay? The villain of the movie, I get that. That's an actually interesting point that, like, you don't see very many really amazing superhero movies without villains to orient them. But I do kind of argue that in this one, you need it less. You need that less with this version of Spider-Man because it's almost as if at this point, life is his villain. He's lost his mom, basically, right? He's having this change happening in his body. He's completely alone. He's lost his friends, but he knows that they're gone. Like he knows that he's the only person in the world that has this knowledge. So how do you reintegrate Peter Parker into the world? He's been on his own for 4 years, and now it seems like he's getting all of his people back. So in this particular case, while I do agree with what you're saying, and I tried to think of one while you were saying that, and it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
I do agree with what you're saying. It might not be as important in this story.
But
though.
do you think the reason why I think it is more important is because after the last Spider-Man movie, the thing that I realize now that we're talking is I'm like, oh, this version of Peter Parker didn't really have the strongest villains. And in that third movie, the most electric villains came from the Tobey Maguire movies. So I was like, damn, now that like Iron Man isn't towering over this film, I am hoping that they give Tom Holland a version of a villain that isn't either isn't in that like Tony Stark father wagging role, is someone that can be like a Willem Dafoe type character where it's just like, how is this person gonna defeat like a force?
See,
we haven't really gotten that with this character yet.
You can't because it's difficult to do in the MCU. It's difficult to do in the MCU. The MCU is more about totality. Like even the singular villains that we've gotten in the MCU, like if you talk about like Thanos in the MCU, that's Thanos trying to collect all of these things. It's about totality. It's really not Thanos against the Avengers as much as it seems like. It's really the Avengers against the total power of the universe, which is what the gauntlet represents. When you start to look at the villains that exist in the MCU, they always have a tremendous amount of philosophy with what it is that they're doing. So they're different than like the Green Goblin or people like that. That's a problem for Spider-Man because his villains in the past are like guys, they're fucking crazy, right? And they've gone crazy for some reason, but they are fucking dangerous, right? They're like little jokers. Like Green Goblin is kind of a joker. He's kind of a fucking crazy person that would throw a pumpkin bomb in the middle of a goddamn middle school, right? And you got to stop
Venom,
that
Eddie
guy.
Brock
Right.
is losing his fucking mind.
He's losing his fucking mind. Doc Ock is running. These are guys they're criminal, but they're criminally insane, and that works for a street level character, especially someone that has to be as noble as Spider-Man. In this situation with the MCU and this version of Spider-Man, you want him to feel the totality of that situation.
Right.
I don't know if it ever has worked really with the one guy.
But is there room in this universe to give Spider-Man
I don't think
his
so.
Loki, his Killmonger, that type of villain where we're like, damn.
Because think about it. They haven't really tried, right?
No.
Yeah, even Vulture was
And Iron Man. villain.
Vulture was like the totality of what he was getting from damage control and all of that
Right.
stuff. And
Mysterio
then
as well.
Mysterio
Iron
was
Man villain.
Iron Man was
Just Iron
Iron
Man.
Man stuff. So like it doesn't work. That version of it doesn't work as well in this universe. It doesn't feel like.
You got to think about it, right? Like, think about like all the villains we've seen in Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. For the most part, you get Mysterio and Vulture, which we hadn't seen before, but like we just said, Iron Man villains. The rest of them are like stuff like we already see. William Dafoe's Green Goblin, Jamie Foxx's Electro. Those are iconic Spider-Man villains, but now we've already seen them. Is there like this is just like logistically speaking, are they gonna like put like a new Electro that we've already seen?
I would like to see an
Doc Ock?
MCU version of Norman Osborn. Like
That would be cool.
I know we just saw Willem Dafoe in the previous film, but I'm like, that is a villain where I'm like, Tom Holland's never really had that guy.
I agree.
To go up against.
Or what does it look like when he meets a Harry Osborn in this universe because he doesn't have any friends and there's somebody in his life that could be.
Or his version
that
of Venom.
goose is already cooked though.
They said that there's no
But
the
what a great
Osborns don't
way to-
exist.
Yeah, that goose is. Those guys are gone. Like that goose is cooked. If he met a Harry Osborn now and became his best friend overnight like that, I would be like, all right, you eyed ass nigga, that's the fuck you get. How this nigga your best friend? You just met him. What about?
Would you want him to face, like, let's say if like Venom was in this universe, where technically he is, but like if Tom Holland had a Venom. Would
I
you
like
watch
that type. I think what you're saying is true.
Mhm.
And I had never even considered it before. I think what you're saying is true. I do think, though, this particular movie with the Spider-Man, and we do have a sort of a mystery, there's a mystery big bad in here. This particular movie, where so much of this is about the psyche of Spider-Man, having a villain that seems to be playing tricks with him psychologically is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
sure.
Because Spider-Man wants to and has to defend MJ, protect MJ. At the same time, when he gets there, he's got to kind of convince MJ to come with him because all of that shit is fucking with him. To raise his stress level and put him in really this boiling hot water with being Spider-Man to try to push him to his breaking point, I think that's pretty dope.
I just thought of who the villain might be.
Oh.
So I feel like they are very careful in the MCU. Like, we don't want to repeat villains. In the last movie, we already saw the Green Goblin, Doc Ock. And I was like, wait, so what villains out there are still there? And I'm like, oh, the Jackal. The Jackal is Spider-Man's Mr. Sinister, the mutation guy in charge, like, behind the scenes of the Clone Saga. They might be, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, what if we do the Clone Saga? Maybe there is a fucking Scarlet Spider. Because I was just like, maybe they're hiding the Jackal where it's like he's not in that much of the movie, but potentially he can be that anchoring force of like trying to get mutation, control, make his own Spider-Man.
What if that Peter Parker's not even our Peter Parker for real? What if he's just like, what if he loses?
Can I ask you guys a question? What if it's Doom in some way?
Doom?
Yeah.
You sure it's not Thrag?
What? Now you're talking.
Is he in this movie?
Is Thrag in this bitch?
Is Thrag in
Is
this bitch?
Thrag in this fucking movie?
Just asking questions.
Does this
That'd be
movie
crazy.
have Thrag?
The villain was actually Thrag.
Flies down like
Actually Thrag. That would be nuts. But I'm just saying, what if in some way, I don't know why it would be, because I'm trying to find out what the connection.
If it's Doom, I will be so mad because this movie, the most important thing it has to do to me, besides being like good, is I'm like, you gotta get this character out of the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man shadow.
Yeah,
and
you
if
can't
you
do it
just
without
shove Doom in there.
Doom is not the villain. But like what?
Right.
Like Doom is not the villain.
That's
Doom's
a
not gonna
post-credits
Doom is not
thing.
going to be in this movie. Doom might be in the post-credits
Mr.
situation.
Sinister.
Maybe Mr. Sinister.
Maybe Mr.
maybe
Sinister
somebody-
trying to get us
maybe,
anything?
yeah, maybe instead of Jackal, it's Mr. Sinister, and they just like roll on through to the X-Men because we haven't talked about it, but
Well, maybe they can't roll on through to the X-Men. They got Doomsday first.
Right, but that's a good tee up.
But we haven't seen Sadie Sink in any of the trailers, at least her face, right? But we know she's in the movie, and we know allegedly that she's wearing a yellow hood and a green jacket. Guys, we know what that means. You don't have to hide it from us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We know that that's Phoenix. That's Jean Grey. It's cool, but they seem intent on not letting us, like, not giving us that.
That's probably because of the utility of the character. Maybe revealing too much about Jean Grey gives us too much of an idea of what Jean Grey's function in the movie is. If it's Jean Grey.
I'm not
Can
saying-
a Tom Holland
Spider-Man
Spider-Man movie ever be a Spider-Man movie? The more we talk about Jean Grey, I'm like, damn, all these other movies was about Iron Man. Now this one about to be about the X-Men.
Unfortunately,
Shit.
in the world we live in now, no, because I mean, it just doesn't. Like, think about it. It's one thing when it's just Spider-Man movie, only heroes that exist in that universe is Spider-Man. It's cool, but when we know that New York is populated with all these superhero movies, superhero teams, and all these movies, and Spider-Man swinging around, saving all his lives, all these things, like, hey man, y'all not gonna. I know Daredevil is right there. I know he's not gonna be in the movie, but I know Daredevil swinging it is over there in Hell's Kitchen. I know Frank is this way. I know someone somewhere is that way. Like, it just don't make any sense for them not to show up at all.
Yeah, but I would rather, if I'm being honest, because I love the X-Men so much, and I think Spider-Man and the X-Men can stand their own ground. I'm like, damn, put some Daredevil up in here. Like, put some actual heroes that got more of a connection.
Have the New York cultural hero connection. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or even I'm like, put a Johnny Storm, an Iceman, a Firestar. They all got connections to Spider-Man. Jean Grey and Spider-Man don't give a fuck about each other. If we being real.
Yeah.
When you ever seen them in the comics?
We'll
in the
see.
fuck
Maybe we gonna
And
see.
maybe they do.
Maybe
it happens.
instead of Jean Grey, she play Firestar.
But
All right, no, that'd be a waste of the season.
maybe it is Firestar. But fuck that though.
Iceman
Like,
show up,
like-
man's fighting his amazing friends.
Like before we get out of here, quick trailer midnight meter.
Okay.
Quick midnight meter of the trailer. Chuck.
Yeah, we're gonna go with a 7 on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
We take
Yeah,
those.
we'll take a 7. We'll take a
Take the
7.
victories we can give.
Yeah.
Steve.
Strong 8.
9, I was hyped.
9. I was hyped.
I was
Yeah.
hyped.
9. I was,
9 and 8s are lower than I thought it would be.
I need that hand fight to be really good.
A 10 trailer. A 10 trailer would have to. It's like in game. It's like Infinity War. A 10 trailer.
It's got to be
is
all
actually-
lies.
A 10 trailer is actually more
All right,
about
before
the
we get
stakes.
out of here, has there been a trailer in recent memory that has been like a
A 12?
yeah?
I'll tell you a 12 right now. It's the Infinity War trailer 2. Not the first one that came out, but the second
No,
one.
but I'm talking about since then.
Oh, no.
Like in the last
Oh, man.
year or two, where you saw that trailer, you like
Wait, what about the
Damn.
Batman one?
The Batman one.
Where the car is upside down, he's walking to the
Dun,
car,
bum, bum,
and the title
bum.
come
that
in.
was kind of tight.
That's
That
kinda
was not a
tight.
12, it's not a 10, but that was fucking
I don't know if
tight.
it's a 12, but that's the fire one I can think of off the top of my head.
All right, Midnight Mob, Midnight Riders, jump in the comments. Tell us what you thought of the Spider-Man trailer. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right. And go buy your tickets to Spider-Man. Disney didn't pay me to say that, but Sony might have.